Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 8 of the Mystery Mold series. I'm Aubrey Morrell with Morrell Designs, and it has been a minute since I've gotten one of these videos out. With Christmas and orders, it was just crunch time the last couple months. So I worked on this in the background, and I finally have all of the finished results to be able to show them with you. So this one I'm pretty excited about. The mold itself gave me quite a fit. I think I had to trash the first 3 castings that I did. They all ended up similar to that, and I kind of played around with the thickness of the clay and how long I left it in the mold, and I could not quite get it right. And I'm thinking it was just because it's an older mold that had not been used in a while. But as you'll see here, I finally did get one that was salvageable. It wasn't great, but I was able to mend that crack on the side there. I went ahead and ran with it. I did not know if my mend would be good enough to seal it to where it would be usable, but I just was giving it a try, and in the end it actually turned out just fine. So I took some time here to just mend it the best that I could, put some extra clay on the inside and the outside of that crack, and broke out all of the pottery tools to try and save that one. Since I had to do so much work on it, I did have to break out the terracotta pot just to get the opening round again, because it did get pretty warped. And usually, clay has memory, so I was afraid that the rim would stay warped like that, but that ended up being fine as well. I don't know how this all worked out, but somehow it did. Once I got the handle attached, then I was finally done messing with it and put it in my damp box to just let the clay sit together for a day or two. Once it was at a leather hard state, I went in and I took my Crown V-tip carver tool, and I just wanted to do a wood grain texture. This mug in particular, I already had plans to give it to my brother for Christmas. He now has that, so and he said he liked it. I've done this wood texture several times. It's a really easy pattern to do, and it's really relaxing to do too. So if you haven't tried it yet, go for it. Once I bisque fired the mug to cone 04, I went in with my Saks True Flow underglaze in jet black, and I put the underglaze in all of the texture, then wiped it back, and then I did 2 coats of Mako's leather on top of that. I've noticed that with Mako's Leather, you know, almost all of their glazes will say 2 to 3 coats, and that usually means 3 to 4 coats if you're a normal person. But the leather really does look good with just 2 coats, especially if you do the underglaze beneath it. It just adds another layer of dimension to that glaze, and I use it all the time. I really love it. So there I am, just wiping it back, and something that I probably need to put more consideration into is how much moisture I'm putting into my cups when I'm working on them, because I don't let anything dry out before I put it in the kiln. So once it's glazed, I just pop it in the kiln and go. And I've noticed that I get splattering, I don't know if that's the right term, on my shelves, to where the moisture that's still in the cup comes out from the glaze, and I don't know, it leaves little tiny glaze spots all over the kiln shelves. And I just purchased new shelves, so I don't want that happening on the new ones. Although I will be putting a fresh coat of kiln wash on them, I need to do my part and make sure that doesn't happen. So I'll have to figure out something else by letting my pots sit overnight to dry out or something, or putting a preheat. So for the inside of the cup, I'm doing, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 coats, probably 3 coats of Orange Gloss by Mako. And I really do like their brush on gloss glazes. They're so nice and pigmented. So on this next cup, I bit off more than I can chew. I wanted to recreate that plaid pattern that you see on the paper there. And I didn't really know the best way to go about it, but I knew I had this tape and I hadn't used it in a while. So I broke out the tape and I tried my best to replicate that pattern. You know, I got similar, but not exact by any means. There are things that I would do different if I had to do this again. Mix up more colors and all that jazz. But so you're just here, see me laying out the tape lines, trying to recreate that pattern. I ended up glazing this with the satin matte glazes just because I wanted to be able to mix custom colors. I wanted to create different variations of green and blue to try and replicate the plaid. So I took the moss color and added some black to it and created a darker version. And then I also used the blue-green color. And so I mixed moss with black, and then I mixed moss with a little bit of black and a little bit of blue-green, just to try and recreate where the threads overlap and they create different shades of the greens and blues. You know, it was really hard to tell because I didn't create test tiles beforehand to get the exact coloring. So I did my best, and that darker green color could have been darker. And in the future, I would do it differently. I don't know that I will do plaid again. It took me probably 3 hours to glaze this mug. Not worth it, not in my opinion. There are things that I create that I like a lot better and take less time. You guys understand. For the third and final mug, I decided to break out the jungle gems that my mom had bought me last time she was at the pottery store. She did me a favor and picked up some clay, and she also picked up these low fire glazes, which I don't fire low fire clay, so I kind of had to get creative. So I just decided to throw this mug into a bisque fire, and it didn't really work out too well, but I am using the Bloomin' Blue and Poppy Fields, 2 coats of each. And that is very chunky glaze, and I'm sure it is beautiful when it is matched with the right clay. But as you know, this is a cone 5-6 clay that I'm using here. So I knew that it wouldn't be vitrified by firing it to cone 04. So that's why I glazed the bottom of it. And here's the result of the first mug with the wood grain texture, and I was very happy with it. I loved the variation in browns that came through by using the underglaze, and the fact that I only put 2 coats of the leather, it kind of brings out some orangey tones, which I love. And since this one was for family, I actually hand signed it. That is the only mug I've ever made with my signature. It turned out great. I was really happy with it. Very woodsy, and it's got the hunter orange on the inside, which works for him because he's got his own business called Buck Junkies, and he sells deer corn. So if you need some deer corn and you live in Oklahoma, reach out. And here is the result of the Plaid mug, which it's not terrible by any means, but it is not what I had in my head. So, you know, expectations, not always a good thing, but it's cute. It is cute. I just wish that there was more variation in the tones, and I don't think I should have put as many black lines on there, even though that's what was on the image. I don't know. What do you think? And then the third and final mug with the low fire jungle gems glazes. It's a wild mug, and those glazes look pretty cool, but it had crazing all over it, and you could hear it pinging from a mile away, I'm sure. So this mug is not usable as a mug, but it is now my new paint cup. I just can't seem to part ways with things that take me so long to make. But let me know what you guys think. Which one was your favorite? Did you like the wood grain mug, the plaid mug, or the jungle gems? As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to like and comment and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll see all of my future content. See you guys.